Okay, today we're going to talk about complex fractions. And complex fractions are nothing more than a fraction within a fraction. So let's take a look at this one. The numerator is 3 over x, so that's a fraction. And the denominator, I have 1/4 plus 2 over x. That's a fraction. Your goal on all of these complex fractions is to get one simple fraction in the numerator divided by one fraction in the denominator. So the first thing you need to do on this one is take a look at the denominator, and you need to combine 1/4 plus 2x. So therefore you need to find a common denominator. Your common denominator is 4x, so your numerator in the denominator becomes x plus 8. So now I have 3 divided by x plus 8 divided by 4x. So remember, when you have fractions, you're going to take the second fraction, you're going to flip it and change it to multiplication. So now I've flipped the second fraction, I've changed it to multiplication. Now we can cross reduce, the x's will cross out, and then I can multiply the numerator, which would be 3 plus 4 over x plus 8. Let's take another one. Now, both the numerator and the denominator need to be combined before I can go ahead and divide these fractions. So the common denominator in the numerator would be 15, and the denominator it would be 3. So I have this here is now my fraction. I'm going to write it like this, flip the second fraction, change it to multiplication. I can cross reduce. This will become a 5, this will become a 1. And now when I multiply across, I'll have 3x plus 10 all over 5 times 12 plus x. You can multiply out the denominator if you want to, but there's no need to. All right. Put this on pause and go ahead and try this one. All right, so you need a common denominator in the denominator, which would be 3x plus 1. So now I have two fractions. I'm going to take the bottom one, or the denominator, I'm going to flip it and change it to multiplication. I can now cross reduce, and I have 9 over x plus 7. All right, let's take a look at this one. My numerator is all set. In my denominator, I have a common denominator of x minus 2, x plus 1. So now we're going to have to distribute here in my denominator, combine like terms. So I've done that here. Now I have one fraction in my numerator divided by one fraction in my denominator. So I can flip the denominator and change it to multiplication. Cross out anything that can be reduced. And I have 4x plus 1 all over 4x minus 5. All right, go ahead and put it on pause and see if you can do this one. All right, my numerator has a common denominator of x times x plus 1. My denominator has a common denominator of x plus 1. Now in both of these fractions, I need to distribute and combine like terms. Here I've distributed. Now let's combine like terms. Now I have one fraction divided by another fraction, so I will flip it and change it to multiplication. But it looks like here this 10x plus 4 can still be factored, so let's go ahead and factor that now. And now I can go ahead and cross reduce. Those x plus 1's go out, but these 5x plus 2's also go out, so I'm left with simply 2 over x. If you have any questions, please let me know. One last one. Put this on pause and see if you can do it. All right. Now we have gotten a common denominator. Let's distribute and combine like terms. I've got it down to one fraction over another fraction. Let us flip it and change it to multiplication. Cross out anything that can be crossed out. So these x plus 2's go out. And I have this here as my final answer. Let's try it with variables now. Now remember, this a to the minus 1 is nothing more than 1 over a, and this b to the minus 1 is nothing more than 1 over b. So let's go ahead and start by writing it that way. Now we need a common denominator in the numerator, which would be ab. So now I have b plus a all over ab, all divided by ab, and you can write the denominator as ab over 1 if you wanted to, because now when I flip it, I'm going to have 1 over ab, and I'm just going to multiply across. All right, let's try this one. First step you always want to do is rewrite those negative exponents as fractions. So the first one I'll have b over a, the second one I'll have minus a over b. Get a common denominator in the numerator, which would be ab. Flip the second one and change it to multiplication. Here b plus a is the same thing as a plus b, so I can cancel those out. And so I'll have b minus a all over ab.